Guten Morgen. Welcome to today's episode of More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily podcast where we help you build a successful business. With me, Anna Angelova, business coach and consultant, and my fellow co host and business consultant, Jores who is having fun in Austria. Hey, Jores.
Hey Anna, my Morgan was 9 hours ago. It's like 4:30 p.m. right now. So, good morning to you. It's your morning. I don't have a Morgan. I'm in the afternoon. Yeah,
Guten Tag.
guten Tag. See, so yeah, it's beautiful here. Like the hottest part of summer you can ever imagine. It gets so hot during the day, and the grass dries up so much. And then in the evening, when the sun goes down between 6 and 8, thunderstorms come, and um, the forest fires start. South of here, 20 minutes south of here, which is northern Italy and northern Slovenia, all the firefighters in Austria are on alert now. They're on call, even the reserves, because their fires are starting. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very hot, and I don't know if you remember in 2022 when we went to Italy and the woods were burning on our way back. Our
Yes,
way back was
yes.
blocked. Yeah, we had to go around the fires back to Austria. Yeah, the same thing is
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, one
Anyways,
of the
we
things were
digress.
similar.
Let's talk about
You
our
digress.
subject
Yes.
today.
Yes. Today, it's an interesting subject, and I think it's something that is very timely. Mm, And what we want to share today is the importance of skills and knowledge in the age of AI. And if you have been a regular listener, we've talked about it. And if you have attended one of our webinars, you know that when it comes to hiring people, there are three things that matter: skills, knowledge, and attitude and mindset. And we have been focusing a lot on attitude, on mindset as a key factor when it comes to hiring someone. Have someone who having people who want to do the work. However, with recent developments, and actually there is a study that came from MIT, which like last week actually, a very recent study from MIT from last week, mm, where they found that students who use ChatGPT and AI to write their essays are actually not retaining information. They don't remember a few minutes after writing the essay, they don't remember what they wrote. And they were monitoring using EEG to monitor brain activity. And ultimately, you might have seen some of these titles that AI is making you dumber. So, how do you translate this to running a business, to being a business owner in today's age, and the importance of skills and knowledge? And one thing we've been mentioning that really applies, and you want to make sure that you, as the leader, you have this, and then you use this, you follow this, and of course, your team follows the same thing. It's that idea that when it comes to using the new technology we have now, the so-called AI technology we have right now, those LLMs, is this idea of 20-60-20. And what it means is that it starts with 20% from you, the human being, the operator. So let's say you're using one of the most used case scenarios for AI, for LLMs, is for marketing, content creation, things like this. So let's say you're using it for marketing, or someone in your team is using, whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, like, those AIs for marketing. What it means is that the 20% starts with the human. The 20% starts with the person who is using, let's say, ChatGPT, and this person knows marketing concepts. This person knows how marketing works. And this way, when you have someone who is knowledgeable about marketing, about how marketing works, how to write good copy, how to create ads, and all these kind of things, then this person can easily create things and prompt AI to refine, to create and help with the creation process and refine things. And this is where the 60% comes. This is where the tool itself does the heavy lifting. And instead of the marketing person taking like hours to write a blog post, it's down to 30 minutes, for example. And then after that, you have the 20% again, where the person comes again. After you get the output from that LLM with the blog post, let's say, this marketing person, knowing everything about good copy, knowing about SEO, blog posts, things like this, comes in and refines the output from that LLM. And this makes it really, really important for you as a business owner. First of all, you lead the team, you lead by example. So you have the knowledge and skills to do the work using AI. And then when you are hiring, this is where it's really, again, really important to make sure that the people you hire actually know their things, they know their domain. Well, if it's for marketing, they know marketing. If it's for sales, they know sales. If it's for delivery, they know customer interactions or whatever it is, whatever you need this person, that they actually know things, know the concepts, know how it works without going and asking ChatGPT. Yes, we can all go and ask ChatGPT and uh, Google things and Google things that we have no idea about. Like I can go and Google things about marine life, but it doesn't make me an expert on this. So you really want to emphasize, yes, attitude matters, mindset matters, but nowadays you really want to emphasize on finding people who actually know these things, who know their domain. And if you don't have LLM, they can still do the work. They still know how things work. Mm, So I know I talked quite a bit, Jores. I want to hear your thoughts with the recent findings and how they apply to small business owners and small mid-sized businesses. What it means for the workforce that we have and how to hire better. Because everything starts with people, and today it's all about people.
Yeah, very interesting points. Thank you for sharing. Um, and a few things to talk about. A couple of sessions before, and if you haven't listened to it, go ahead and listen. When we talked about how to adopt technology, we talked about purpose and clarity. AI is no different. AI is not a magic. And people ask me this question, is AI going to solve my problem? No. AI is just another piece of technology. It's just faster. And I wouldn't say better. It's not better, it's faster. So if you have clarity, if you have purpose, and you adopt AI for with like you mentioned, spend that 20% to tell AI what to do. Give it proper context. Feed it some of the documents if you have the paid version. Don't put it on public. After it gives you the results, spend the 20% time. That then AI is a good tool. It literally saves time. So it, with clarity, with purpose, it's a good piece of technology. Without it, within 6 months, you're going to throw it away, if not faster, because it's going to be very costly. As for hiring goes, very interesting. Another interesting study that was published. So when AI came out 2 years ago, a lot of people panicked and said, "Oh, it's going to replace all of us." So since then, they have done this study where, and I remember this again because I'm older than dinosaurs. In the 90s, the late 90s, there was a um, economy crash, and governments, being who they are, they said, "Oh," and I think real estate got hit and retail. There was a lot of retail and real estate uh, crash. So what happens? There were a lot of unemployment on the government's hands for people who used to sell clothing or they were working in retail. They didn't know what to do. So literally the government's paid since 1999 to 2005 a massive amount of workforce to be trained in IT. So two things happened. One, part of those people who were thinkers, innovators, they picked it up as a career, take off. They will never be replaced. A majority of them, though, they became drones, where just like and I'm not putting anyone down, but as a retailer, you have a job description, you go to the store, you do your work. They translated that into, then you come home. They translated that into IT. They go to the office, they log in, they do stuff, they log off, they come home, repeat, repeat, repeat until someone taps on your shoulder. And that majority will be replaced by AI because they are just non-thinker drones who just type code. But the portion of so when you're thinking about hiring, you need to build a system that distinguishes those drones from the thinkers. So if you have any skills, if your skills questioned in your uh, job description or hiring script, scrap them because you're going to hire the wrong person. Rewrite your job description, rewrite your hiring scripts in a way that identifies thinkers, creative thinkers, people who can adjust, adapt. Even when you give them a design, they don't just, copy and paste it. They think about it and they say, oh no, the challenge is that doesn't work. I can make it much simpler. Do it. So if from a hiring perspective, that's the type of person you want to hire. Because if you hire the wrong person, you bring AI, first of all, that person won't use AI for what it's good for. Plus, AI will actually replace that person. So you wasted your investment into hiring that person. So it's very important. The other thing is another article. It's not a study. This one was an article. They showed this guy who had no idea about building web applications. He used six agents, six levels of agents, an agent that talked to an agent that talked to an agent that six levels to build 100 applications in, I think it was 2 hours or 3 hours, 3 hours. And the internet, he became an internet sensation. Everybody was praising with him. And we were chatting about it at work today, and I said, well, what was the purpose of these apps? What did they do? What did they accomplish? The apps. Zero answer. Zero. Building apps for the sake of apps, no security, no governance, no access control. These, when you go after the second or the third agent, you have no idea what's going on in the background. And these guys was saying that's a good thing. That's not a good thing. You lose control. And if you adopt AI without control, without governance, without all the checks and balances in place, you will lose your intellectual property, or it will build something that you will make the wrong decision for you, and you will start losing your customers.
And the thing is, if you think about it, when you don't understand it, how do you support it after that? How do you maintain it? How do you improve it?
Support,
Because
yeah.
again, these AI tools, so-called AI tools, they have their own limitations. They hallucinate. Like, how do you really provide the value? And one of the things that came to my mind as you were talking about these things is that, like with everything, technology, like you said, technology is not the answer. Technology is not the leading thing. And AI is not good or bad per se. Like LLMs are not good or bad. It's how we use them. It's all about the person using the technology. And that's why we have these conversations where we put the emphasis on people, processes, technology, people first. And I also was reminded of what you do. So when you send emails, sometimes when it's an important email, what you do is you type the email, like you put your thoughts on paper
Mhm.
in the email, you type it, and then you go and say, okay, I want this to be a little bit more formal, or a
Less
little bit more
aggressive.
less aggressive, yes.
Mhm. If
and,
it's an
and
angry reaction to an email somebody else sent, you want to make it more inadvertently, you use aggressive words. ChatGPT makes it less aggressive if you tell it to,
Yes, so this
which
is
is
how you do it.
fantastic.
Like you actually create it first yourself, then you
Mhm.
go and say, okay, refine it. Then you take the refined version and you still update it and make it yours. Like remove some things, replace
Mhm.
some words that, oh, I don't really like this one. Let's find
Mhm.
a synonym. And ultimately, you follow that 20-60-20 idea, and it helps you a lot. Like it helps you
It
a lot
does.
with
It's
mm,
incredible. It's
how
invaluable to me.
quickly it is.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to share this example where you
Yeah,
apply this thing as you were
absolutely.
doing
I use
it.
it religiously and it saves me time. It makes sure that none of my emotions are in that email. It removes it. I read it again, and it's very fast. I
Yes,
use it for planning.
and
I
it's
give it a few documents and say, this is what I'm planning. Give me a 3-month plan or give me a 3-step plan. Does it for me. I just copy it, paste it into, edit it, paste it into a PowerPoint. It becomes my growth plan, whatever.
And it all starts with what we're talking about. All starts with you being aware of how, as
Mhm.
a leader, responding to an email emotionally is not the right thing to do. So you have that awareness, you have that knowledge, you have that experience that, like, especially when it comes to anger, like this is not the right thing to do. And you know how to
Absolutely.
type the email and then go and get a better version. It all
Yep.
starts with you as the expert who is working with clients, who knows, okay, this is what's going on, this is what we want to
Mhm.
achieve, these are our ideas, let's refine them and create a good roadmap, a good
Yeah,
plan. And when you get the result, again, you as the expert, you look at it and you say, this makes sense, but this thing doesn't make sense. The direction is okay, but let's replace it with something else. And it's really, really, really important. I love what you said. People who can think for themselves, people who can.
critical
It doesn't
thinkers.
mean that everyone has analytical thinking. Like some people will be more creative,
That's
which
fine.
is what
This
you
is
want. This is like
absolutely.
this is what you might look for. And
Mhm.
other people will have other type of thinking, but this is the important thing. People who can think on their own, people who know their stuff, people who are adaptable, people who ultimately know how to use AI the right way.
Absolutely. And going back to what you said, because we're addressing small business owners, how to hire, I would say if someone you're hiring starts bragging about they use AI, this, and that, not challenge them, but test them. Bring them to a computer and say, show me how you would use it on your daily function, and these are your daily functions. How would it, how would, how would it enhance you, or what is the benefit, right? And 99% of the time, they'll fail because, again, if you are relying on AI on actually doing your job, you're not good at either one. You're not good at your job. You're not good at using AI. If you're using it to enhance what you do and make it faster, more efficient, remove errors to an extent, and cover a little bit more than what you could have thought, use AI. That's the type of person you want. That's the type of person you want to hire.
Yes, yeah. And it's really important. So one aspect, of course, is hiring. The other aspect is with the current workforce you have, starting with yourself, as I said, really learning how to use these tools, because this is the danger. I was thinking before the MIT study came. I have been thinking about this for quite a bit now. The danger of outsourcing our thinking. And
Mhm.
here they are coming with the studies
Mhm.
that actually find the impact on the brain. how
And
when we are creating something on our own, when we are, whether it's writing something or creating a picture or piece of art, whatever it is, there's so many neurons firing up, connections working, being created. But when we use tools like those AI tools, our brains flat, like they are flat, like there's no activity. And
yeah, brain is like a muscle. If you don't use
use
it,
it
you
and you
lose it.
lose
So
it. That's
eventually, in a
true.
few generations, I bet if they keep track of this data, in a few generations, not even decades, in a few generations, we're gonna end up with a smaller brain, and that will be the demise of humanity.
Yeah, so and we don't want to be the doomsday kind of people, but it's good to know the good and the bad.
Yeah,
And one other
absolutely.
example where, again, it's not the technology itself, it's how we use it as human beings, as people, and understanding our human nature, understanding how our brains work, understanding how we're prone to being lazy. It's all about survival, how we are prone to do certain things and think in certain ways.
Mhm,
Especially we as leaders in our businesses, in our communities, it's really important for us to understand these things and step up and show the way. And like one example that always comes to my mind is like that it's not the technology, it's how we use it, is the splitting of the atom. Like when physicists
mhm.
found found about the splitting of the atom, I don't know if it was Einstein or who came up with this. They never imagined that this will lead to
Mass destruction,
Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They never imagined that this would lead to
be
the
weaponized.
creation of the atomic bomb.
Mhm,
So,
mhm,
uh, and on the other side, it has led to so many other amazing uh, developments in technology of how we create power, electricity, and things like this. And again, it all starts with people. It's not the technology as good or bad, it's how we use it, it's how we as people show up and do the
mhm,
work.
mhm.
That's why so important. And
It is.
it's our responsibility, and in a way it's also an honor to be in this position where we are the leaders who set the example, who have the opportunity to create a better business, a better world for everyone who works with us, for our communities and our countries. And a topic that I know we'll be coming back to and we'll be talking about a lot. And people are our best assets. I don't like calling people assets, but in a company,
Mhm.
and
In a sense, they are human
they
asset.
matter. They matter the most. They matter the
Yeah.
most. So
Mhm.
now AI adds a bit more complexity to sorry, how we run businesses and all these kind of things. But this is the fun thing about being a business owner. There is not a single day when something doesn't come up and makes your life interesting.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. Very interesting topics. Thank you, Anna, for sharing.
Oh, thanks to you as well, Jores. Like it's a very timely conversation, and what I want to leave you with as you are pondering on this is to really focus on your people, starting with yourself, starting with how you show up, starting with what kind of a leader you are, how you use the technology. And one way for you to do this, of course, to see how you show up as a leader is our leadership assessment. And as you know, if you're a regular listener, you know that every month we offer four, and it's almost end of June. July is coming, so uh, go ahead and apply for one in July. We'll be really honored and happy to see you take the step. Step up as a leader and show the way for your team and for the community, for your family, for everyone in your circle. Mm, So go ahead and do this. And otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow with another interesting episode, which kind of forgot. What were we talking about tomorrow? Oh! Semi-annual planning, like the 6-month planning,
Oh,
like
yeah.
mid-year review. Yes, yes, yes,
Maybe
yes.
that's what I'm
So
here for, actually.
yes, yeah. So tomorrow we'll be talking about media review as one of the processes we have and a process that we highly recommend you have. So after
Mhm.
people, processes is the next thing. So come back
Absolutely.
tomorrow for another awesome conversation, insightful conversation between Canada and Austria these few days.
Sounds good, Anna. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Enjoy your
Jores.
Morgan.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.